You're watching Indiana's own Wish TV Channel 8.
Channel 8 News, the Nightcap edition, a summary of world, national, and local news developments.
Good morning. An Indianapolis woman who was convicted 4 years ago of killing her ex-husband and dismembering his corpse.
Channel 8 News, the Nightcap edition, a summary of world, national, and local news developments. Channel 8 News, the Nightcap edition, a summary of world, national, and local news developments.
Good morning. With all the talk of President Ford dumping Vice President Rockefeller next year, tonight he said he wasn't going to.
Channel 8 News, the Nightcap edition, a summary of world, national, and local news developments.
No, I can't do it yet. I can't do that.
The big news with Mike Ahern, Lou Choate, Jeff Coppett, and Stan Wood.
Good evening. Welcome to our store, such as it is here. We don't have any People's Choice steaks for you, but over here at the sports desk, we have a special on a fully dressed ham. You might be interested in that.
Channel 8 News, the big news, with Mike Ahern, Lou Choate, Chet Copping, and Stan Wood. Good evening. Mike Ahern continues on vacation, and Lori Roberts is with us tonight.
Channel 8, Indiana's #1 news station.
Good evening. Lately, their numbers have grown. Criminals who use guns owe the threat of violence to rob citizens and businesses.
You're tuned to Wish TV Indianapolis. This is Wish TV News 8, the Daybreak edition, with Ethel Micah, David Barris, and weather with meteorologist Randy Ollis.
Good morning, everyone. It's Monday, June the 2nd, and we have cloudy skies and 56 degrees in Indianapolis at 6:30.
You're tuned to Wish TV Indianapolis.
This is News 8, the Daybreak edition, with Ethel Micah and weather with meteorologist Randy Ollis. You're tuned to the best newscast in Indiana on Wish TV Channel 8. This is News 8 with Mike Ahern, Debbie Knox, weather with Stan Wood, and sports with Ed Harding. You're tuned to the best newscast in Indiana on Wish TV Channel 8. This is News 8 with Mike Ahern, Debbie Knox, weather with Stan Wood, and sports with Ed Harding.
Good evening. Governor Robert Orr used harsh terms this evening, predicting a future economic disaster.
You're tuned to Wish TV Channel 8. This is News 8, the weekend edition, with Eric Halverson, Tina Cosby, weather with meteorologist Tom Magnuson, and sports with Jim Barber.
Good evening. In what could only be called one of the rockiest weekends in quite a while, the presence of Mother Nature has been felt from coast to coast.
You're tuned to the best newscast in Indiana on Wish TV Channel 8. With Mike Ahern and Debbie Knox, weather with Stan Wood, and sports with Ed Harding, this is News 8. You're tuned to Wish TV Channel 8 in Indianapolis. With Neil Moore and Tina Cosby, weather with meteorologist Tom Magnuson, and sports with Jim Barber. This is News 8.
Good evening. A feverish rescue attempt is underway in Zionsville at this hour.
Stay tuned for Indiana's best newscast, next on Channel 8. From Wish TV in Indianapolis, David Barris brings you News 8 Daybreak.
Wake up, Indiana. It's Wednesday. The holiday is over, but consider as you go about your business.
From Wish TV in Indianapolis, Athel Micah, David Barris, and weather with meteorologist Randy Ollis. This is News 8 Daybreak.
Good morning, everyone.
Stay tuned for Indiana's best newscast, next on Channel 8. From Wish TV in Indianapolis, Mike Ahern, Debbie Knox, weather with Stan Wood, and sports with Jim Barber. This is News 8.
Good evening. It's 5:30, and Congressman Lee Hamilton.
Stay tuned for Indiana's best newscast, next on Channel 8. From Wish TV in Indianapolis, Neil Moore, Tina Cosby, weather with meteorologist Tom Magnuson, and sports with Jim Barber. This is News 8.
Good evening. Good evening. There's been a breakthrough at the bargaining table for...
You're watching Indiana's Own, Wish TV, Channel 8. Now, David Barris and Randy Ollis, live from Wish TV. This is Indiana's Own, News 8 Daybreak. You're watching Indiana's Own, Wish TV, Channel 8. Now, Patty Spittler, Ken Owen, Ray Rice with Indiana's Own, and Mike Andrevet on your side. Live from Wish TV, this is News 8 at 5:30. You're watching Indiana's Own, Wish TV, Channel 8. Now, Mike Ahern, Debbie Knox, Fred Khalil, and Stan Wood. Live from Wish TV, this is Indiana's Own, News 8 at 6 o'clock.
Good evening. It is 6 o'clock, and we begin with the latest on a tense hostage drama in Kentucky.
You're watching Indiana's only 24-hour television news service, closed caption for the hearing impaired. Now, David Barris, weather with Randy Ollis, Vince Welch with sports, and special reports from Ruth Ann Gordon and Dick Wolfsey. Live from Wish TV, this is 24-hour News 8's Daybreak. You're watching Indiana's only 24-hour television news service, closed caption for the hearing impaired. Now, Neil Moore, Tina Cosby, weather with Ben Woods, and Sports Locker with Fred Khalil and Mark Patrick. Live from Wish TV, this is 24-hour News 8. You're watching Indiana's only 24-hour television news service, closed caption for the hearing impaired. Now, Mike Ahern, Debbie Knox, weather with Cliff Nicholson, and the sports team of Fred Khalil and Mark Patrick. Live from Wish TV, this is 24-hour News 8.
Good evening. It's been a night of waiting at the courthouse.
Celebrating 40 years with Indiana's Own. We're today's Wish TV. Now, David Barris, meteorologist Randy Ollis, and live reports from Ruth Ann Gordon and Dick Wolfsey. 24-hour News 8 continues with Daybreak. You're watching Central Indiana's only 24-hour news service on Indiana's Own Wish TV, Channel 8. Now, Mike Ahern, Debbie Knox, Ken Owen, meteorologist Cliff Nicholson, and sports with Fred Khalil and Mark Patrick. 24-hour News 8 continues now. You're watching 24-hour News 8 on today's Wish TV, where more people turn to get their news than to any other source. Now, Mike Ahern, Debbie Knox,
Ken Owen, meteorologist Cliff Nicholson, and sports with Mark Patrick. 24-hour News 8 continues now.
You're watching Central Indiana's only 24-hour news service on Indiana's own Wish TV, Channel 8. Now, Mike Ahern, Debbie Knox, meteorologist Cliff Nicholson, and sports with Mark Patrick. 24-hour News 8 continues now. You're watching Central Indiana's only 24-hour news service on Indiana's own Wish TV, Channel 8. Now, Mike Ahern, Debbie Knox, meteorologist Cliff Nicholson, and sports with Fred Khalil and Mark Patrick. 24-hour News 8 continues now. You're watching Central Indiana's only 24-hour news service on Indiana's own Wish TV, Channel 8. Now, Neil Moore, Tina Cosby, meteorologist Ben Woods, and sports with Dick Ray. 24-hour News 8 continues now.
Good evening. 6 jurors deliberated for more.
Celebrating 40 years with Indiana's own. We're today's Wish TV.
Let's get better.
Now, Rick Dawson, Leah Hope, meteorologist Ben Woods, and sports with Dick Ray. 24-hour News 8 continues now. From the one and only Wish TV, here's the latest from 24-hour News 8. You're watching 24-hour News 8, the best news you'll get all day. Now, David Barris, meteorologist Randy Ollis, and live reports from Ruth Ann Gordon and Dick Wolfsey. This is 24-hour News 8's Daybreak. This is 24-hour News 8 on the one and only Wish TV. Now, Patty Spittler, Eric Halverson, and meteorologist Randy Ollis. This is 24-hour News 8 at noon.
And good afternoon. In just about an hour, Frank O'Bannon will be sworn in as the state's 47th governor.
You're watching 24-hour News 8, the best news you'll get all day. Now, Mike Ahern, Debbie Knox, meteorologist Cliff Nicholson, and sports with Mark Patrick. This is 24-hour News 8 at 6. You're watching 24-hour News 8, the best news you'll get all day. Now, Neil Moore and Marie Tiernan, meteorologist Steve Bray, and Sports Locker with Mark Patrick. This is 24-hour News 8 at 11.
My son lost his life, and there's...
This is 24-hour News 8 on the one and only Wish TV. Now, Neil Moore and Marie Tiernan, meteorologist Steve Bray, and Sports Locker with Mark Patrick. This is 24-hour News 8 at 11.
Every vehicle has to be stopped. We have to have...
News 8's Daybreak continues with David Barris, Sam Kramer, meteorologist Randy Ollis, live Chopper 8 traffic with Eric Halverson, and Dick Wolfsey and Barney. Now, News 8 gets you closer.
You're watching the one and only Wish TV. Now, News 8 gets you closer.
Pacer fans can't control their excitement. The Blue and Gold's next stop, the Eastern Conference Finals. Good evening. It's 11 o'clock, and as you can see, Pacer pride is running high tonight.
Live from Wish TV, this is News 8, your 24-hour news station.
Good afternoon. You're watching Wish TV, your 24-hour news station. Now, News 8 gets you closer.
It's kind of like Christmas shopping starting in July. Enough already with the candidates. Maybe that's what it is. I will get more into it, I promise you.
This undecided voter says the country may be ready for a female president, but she's not sure as Elizabeth Dole is the right woman for the job. Good evening. It is 6 o'clock, and Republican presidential hopeful Elizabeth Dole was supposed to be here in the city tonight.
Live from Wish TV, this is News 8, your 24-hour news station.
Members of the Indiana National Guard ring in the holiday while enforcing security at the Indianapolis International Airport.
Live from Wish TV, this is News 8, your 24-hour news station.
Wake up, Indiana. It's Monday, September 30th.
Live from Wish TV, this is News 8, your 24-hour news station. You're watching News 8 at 6 with Mike Ahern, Debbie Knox, meteorologist Steve Bray, and sports with Will Hampton. Now, News 8 at 6 continues. You're watching Wish TV, your 24-hour news station. Now, Mike Ahern, Debbie Knox, meteorologist Angela Buckman, and sports with Will Hampton. News 8 at 6 continues.
Any time of the day or night, for any kind of emergency, Wishard ambulance crews are called to duty. Whether it's a crash or a cold, it's their job to respond.
David Barris, Joy Demandin, Gene Rodriguez, meteorologist Randy Ollis, Dick Wolfsey, and Traffic 8 with Julie Patterson and Keith McCutcheon. Wish TV's Daybreak continues. Live from Wish TV, this is News 8, your 24-hour news station.
Good afternoon. A childhood friend of Pacers player Jamal Tinsley made his first court appearance this morning for his alleged involvement in that strip club incident we told you about earlier this month.
That's right, 24.
And why police arrested Russell Crowe. 24-hour News 8 at 10 starts now.
From Wish TV, this is 24-hour News 8 at 10 on UPN, Indiana.
2 down, 5 to go. Tonight, the governor's whirlwind.
You're watching Wish TV's 24-hour News 8 on UPN, Indiana. Now, Karen Hensel, Scott Sander, Nicole Mansky, and meteorologist Angela Buckman. 24-hour News 8 at 10 on UPN, Indiana continues.
IPD dive teams have found...
Live from Wish TV, this is News 8, your 24-hour news station.
Makes one proud to be a Hoosier, I would think, to be in this building here. And it is a wonderful get-together, something we should have more of.
People who love politics had a chance to learn the game as it was played in the good old days. Good evening. It's 11 o'clock, and Election Day is just 40 days away now, so the...
Live from Wish TV, this is News 8, your 24-hour news station.
We owe them a lot more than what they've got here. It just breaks my heart just to see what's going on around here.
A veteran says he's disgusted. The nation's only war memorial of its kind is vandalized. Good evening, it's 11 o'clock, and a memorial where many of you have shed tears is spray painted and smashed.
This is 24-hour News 8's Daybreak on Wish TV, your 24-hour news source.
Good morning and welcome. It is a Monday. Live look down.
There is style all around you. There's always something fresh. Living life in this style. Living life in this style. In this style.
And you are just in time because we're getting ready to start the Blonde Ambition Tour. Or something like that. But anyway.
This is 24-hour News 8 at noon on Wish TV, your 24-hour news source. Live from your 24-hour news source, here's the latest from Wish TV. Live from your 24-hour news source, here's the latest from Wish TV.
A police officer recovering. The Indianapolis workers.
This is 24-hour News 8 at 6 on Wish TV, your 24-hour news source.
Good evening. There is a hopeful prognosis for the officer shot in the head last week.
Bombs arrested. The deplorable conditions where police found 4 children living. Mystery solved, where the U.S. military found the remains of a Navy pilot that's been missing for nearly 2 decades. Move-in day, which Indianapolis Colt player made a grand entrance. 24-hour News 8 starts now.
I had a few hints that.
This is 24-hour News 8 at 11 on Wish TV, your 24-hour news source.
Good evening. After Monday night's win, the Colts were back in action today against the Carolina Panthers.
24-hour News 8's Anthony Calhoun is here to tell us why the short turnaround didn't hurt them against the Panthers.
Well, good evening to you. Not only did the Colts not have a lot of time to rest.
This is 24-hour News 8 at 11 on Wish TV, your 24-hour news source.
A show of contempt for President Bush and one of his surprise trips overseas. We'll have this story in a minute, but first we begin with breaking news. It's out of downtown.
Live from Wish TV, this is 24-hour News 8.
Student-teacher relationships crossing the line.
Live from your 24-hour news source, this is breaking news from Wish TV.
And right now at 5 o'clock, we're following two breaking news stories. First,
live from Wish TV, this is 24-hour News 8. 24-hour News 8 at 5 starts now.
And
live from the Super Bowl Village in downtown Indianapolis, this is 24-hour News 8. Live from your 24-hour news source, Wish TV, this is 24-hour News 8 at 5:30.
and good evening. We continue to follow this, the breaking news that we're offering here at 5:30. Chopper 8 is still live over I-65 northbound.
Live from your 24-hour news source, this is breaking news from Wish TV.
And good afternoon to you. That breaking news is happening in Delaware County.
Live from your 24-hour news source, here's the latest from Wish TV.
A single-car crash claims the life of a 16-year-old teen and injures two others in northern Hamilton County.
Live from Wish TV, this is 24-hour News 8.
And good evening. We have breaking news. Pan Am Plaza is going to be closing, all because of this. I'll explain the problem and when this might be fixed.
You're watching Wish TV. Now 24-hour News 8's Daybreak continues.
As severe weather moved through central Indiana last night, it brought flash flooding.
Live from Wish TV, this is breaking news from 24-hour News 8.
And good morning. It is a big day for the state of Indiana and Mike Pence.
That's right. The six-term congressman is trading Capitol Hill for the Indiana State House as he becomes the state's 50th governor this morning.
You're watching Wish TV. Now 24-hour News 8 at noon continues. And good afternoon. You're watching Wish TV. Now 24-hour News 8 at 5:30 continues.
The old saying, you can't fight City Hall.
You're watching Wish TV. Now 24-hour News 8 at 6 continues.
And good evening. 6 o'clock and rain is falling in central Indiana. However, it's not cold enough for snow yet, thanks to the mild temperature.
Good thing. Just how long are you going to need the umbrella for tonight? Well,
Live from Wish TV. 24-hour News 8 at 11 starts right now.
An Indiana police officer is under investigation for handing his loaded gun to another person.
I've been here my whole life. We've never done anything like this before.
A new tradition. This morning, cleanup is underway after the big New Year's Eve party in downtown Indianapolis. We were there overnight as the Indy car dropped down to Georgia Street.
This morning, search is on for a driver who police say hit and killed a man. Officers say the driver did stop for a moment, but then left the scene.
All new this hour, we're live inside the Indianapolis Auto Show at the Convention Center. Good morning. Welcome to you. It is 7 o'clock and we are on Wish TV. Get used to it. We're staying that way.
Developing update tonight at 10. The situation under control after a shooting near a veterans medical clinic in Texas.
And night 2 of this winter storm brings new concerns for drivers and at home.
We're going to have this same sustained cold for like 48 hours, and that's when people really get into trouble.
Good evening, everyone. Just seconds ago, a travel advisory went into effect for Marion County. We also learned tonight IPS will keep its campuses closed tomorrow.
Now on Daybreak, tracking rain. Showers may affect the morning drive and leave behind a big change. How scary was it?
Oh, it's pretty scary, yeah.
And new this morning, hear from people on board a plane that caught fire on the runway.
It's a miracle. I mean, it could have been so much worse.
An Indianapolis woman is in the hospital after she says someone attacked her with an axe. All these stories ahead, but we'll start this morning with breaking news: a bad crash that has a stretch of I-69 shut down.
It's happening in Madison County. The southbound lanes are closed near Pendleton and State Road 38. We're going to
Now, live from Wish TV, this is 24-Hour News 8 at noon.
And good afternoon. Happening today, the Republican National Convention continues into day 3.
Now, live from Wish TV, this is 24-Hour News 8 at 5 o'clock.
Now at 5 o'clock, another big night in Cleveland as the Republican National Convention continues. And
now, live from Wish TV, this is 24-Hour News 8 at 6 o'clock.
Good morning. Good evening, everyone. I'm Phil Sanchez. It'll be another special night at the Pro Football Hall of Fame for the Indianapolis Colts organization. Former Colts head coach Tony Dungy.
It is a record-breaking year when it comes to homicides in Indianapolis. We'll tell you about the latest one that just happened hours ago.
You expect this can happen when you're on emergencies, but after the fact or in your own fire station, it's kind of shocking.
An Indiana Fire Department in mourning tonight. A firefighter found dead at the fire station just hours after battling a blaze.
Temperatures in the mid-30s across central Indiana right now. We're tracking cool temperatures, but still above average there for your Thursday morning commute.
This isn't something we have to do. We get to do this. We get to bless other people like this when we're generous, and it's a privilege.
the Wish Patrol is back and surprising drivers all across Indianapolis with some major moolah. You don't want to miss the surprises.
Now, live from Wish TV, this is 24-Hour News 8 at 10 o'clock.
Good evening, everyone. 2017, the deadliest year on record in Indianapolis. And today,
News 8 Daybreak starts now.
Oh my, look at this. Nothing much, but we did want to just document that we're doing today.
News 8 Daybreak starts now.
Hey there, and good Monday morning to you on this 7th day of December. Thanks for listening on WIBC this hour or watching on Wish TV. We got a lot.
News 8's Daybreak starts now.
Now on Daybreak, we are under a weather alert. Wind chills well below zero in central Indiana.
Part of what the National Weather Service has called a once-in-a-generation blast of cold weather across the Midwest. We have full team coverage for you this morning.
You're watching Wish TV, your local news source, with Scott Sander, Kylie Conway, Drew Blair, and meteorologists Randy Ollis and Stephanie Meade. Now, News 8's Daybreak continues.
It is a weather alert Wednesday.
Lifestyle Live. Come and see, you'll agree. There's a positive energy. Lifestyle Live. It's so good to be alive. Faces you know and a team you can trust. Stories that form your heart. Lifestyle Live. Lifestyle Live.
And welcome to Lifestyle Live. No bird soars too high if he soars with his own wings.
Indiana.
Good afternoon. You look good in this green.
That's right. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Yes. It's going to be a good one. You know what? Yes. I learned so much about St. Patrick's Day growing up.
about the man charged with murdering 8 people in the Atlanta area.
News 8 at 5 starts now.
A mild St. Patrick's Day ends with some rain. The first round moving through central Indiana right now.
We could be in for a second, more severe round later tonight. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Nina Criscolo.
And I'm Phil Sanchez.
News 8 at 6 starts now.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Julian Grace. Well, the Indianapolis Colts return to Lucas Oil Stadium today with hopes of extending their winning streak to 3 by beating the Jacksonville Jaguars.
You're watching Wish TV, your local news source, with Julie and Grace, meteorologist Brad Mousehart, and sports with Anthony Calhoun. Now, News 8 at 6 continues.
President Donald Trump is in France tonight, and earlier today he honored Americans who were killed in World War I.
News 8 at 11 starts now.
All right, this is what you're looking at live outside right now. Monument Circle, you can see some of the raindrops on it.
You're watching Wish TV, your local news source, with Brooke Martin, Mike Barnes, meteorologist Ashley Brown, and Anthony Calhoun. Now, News 8 at 11 continues.
The suspect in the brutal slayings of 2 families, including his own, has confessed to the murders. That's according to police.
Default screen, time limit will work.
News 8 Daybreak starts now.
Good morning and welcome to a Friday Junior. It is Thursday, March 2nd.
Let's get straight to meteorologist Marcus Bailey with a look at that. A showdown begins now on Daybreak. The U.S. Supreme Court will hear oral arguments on whether millions of Americans should have student loan debt relief.
An Indianapolis tradition, what officials are doing to keep the NFL Combine in the Circle City.
A cooler start to the morning. Storm Track 8's Marcus Bailey times out how long this cold snap will last while we wait for an up and down to the rest of the week.
And a man is under arrest after being shot by an Indiana State Police. How his car ended up underwater and the charges he now faces.
News 8 Daybreak starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the last and final day of February. It is Tuesday, February 28th.
Yeah, we'll get to Stephanie here in a minute with a look at traffic for your Tuesday.
The student loan forgiveness debate goes before the Supreme Court today. Now on Daybreak, we break down the challenges to the president's plan.
Toxic waste heads to Indiana, where crews will dump the contaminated soil from the site of a train derailment in eastern Ohio.
A police chase on the south side of Indianapolis ends with gunshots. Ahead exactly where it happened and why state troopers were looking for the suspect.
News 8 Daybreak starts now.
Happening today, the National Weather Service will survey possible tornado damage in Hancock County. The county emergency management officials say that the tornado may have touched down in McCordsville.
A shot in the line of duty, what led to the gunfire, and what police are now saying about the suspects.
You're watching Wish TV, Indiana's only statewide TV news network. This is breaking news.
It's 8 o'clock and flights are still at a standstill across the United States. Right now, the FAA says a computer outage is to blame.
New this hour, the White House says the Department of Transportation has briefed the president about the problem, which will have all flights grounded until 9 o'clock at the earliest.
Hoping to see some sunshine and temperature right now currently at 41 degrees.
News 8 Midday starts now.
Happening today, the National Weather Service is surveying possible tornado damage in
Imagine the feeling of actually saving someone's life. You've got the power to do so. We'll show you how to use it.
Oh, don't you love seeing your face?
I did, well, more than most people do.
Enjoy seeing your face.
I enjoy seeing my face.
Because I enjoyed seeing your face.
Thank you. Yeah.
Day 2.
Chris Ballard, that's coming up.
News 8 at 5 starts now.
We need the rest of the healthcare system to catch up and step up with us to eliminate the existing barriers to insulin access and affordability.
You're watching Wish TV, Indiana's only statewide TV news network. You're watching Wish TV, Indiana's only statewide TV news network. This is breaking news.
Right now at 6 o'clock, a weather alert for Futurecast 8 shows potentially severe weather all across the state.
A wind advisory and heavy rain for most of the state and a winter storm to the north. Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings joining us now with everything we need to know. Busy night.
Well, overall, tonight looking good, but it's blind to file charges in the case.
News 8 starts now.
Well, before we get to those stories, we start right now at 10 o'clock with dense fog advisory and rain coming in overnight.
Chief Meteorologist Ashley Brown joining us now with everything we need to know heading into tomorrow, Ashley.
All right, so we were expecting the dense fog advisory to go into effect for us at around 1 a.m., but
we are the team. Indiana's our home. We're proud to say we're Indiana's own.
So come on, team up with Indiana's own every day and every night on Wish TV News 8. We are the team.
We are the team. We're Indiana's own.
Celebrating our history, Wish TV is your official bicentennial station.